Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc contains topics and visuals that some viewers might find disturbing or upsetting. This includes, but is not limited to, graphic depictions of death, heavy violence, suicide, sexual themes, and psychological horror. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to all of my fellow procrastinators to another episode of Danganronpa. I'm Edge. The ultimate! Here is always joined by...
Wow. CPU Silent Heart, the ultimate strangled accordion. Really?
What? It's the item get sent from Metroid.
Whatever. Sure thing, pal.
So, is everyone ready to... What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here.
Huh? And Toko is...
You really don't remember?
Come on! Kidding! I'm just kidding. How can I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie. I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please.
And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him.
I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible! You're terrible!
So, now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get this show on the road.
I don't know, I
you
think
guys.
we're missing 4 people.
I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. That was her name. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
What, you're not gonna talk to anyone in the room? How rude.
I gave a small nod in reply. One last
What
deep
scared
breath,
you
I
to
walked
that?
toward the elevator on shaky legs. As she stepped forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. Couldn't get handle of my emotions, couldn't stop speculating.
It's not like I wanted to talk to you or anything.
Steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop.
What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting?
Don't waste your time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very good. You're raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay then. Let's get this show on the road. Hey, you should charge your batteries, bitch.
thrills, chills, kills!
Everyone, please find your assigned seats.
And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly class trial, or a deadly betrayal, deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. There it is. I was a little off. Oops.
No, that's wrong.
All right.
Here we go. Trial time.
Da-da-da-da. I had a lot of stuff on offer here.
Yeah? Please go look at the lamp again. Yeah!
Yeah.
Nice!
I hate that. I hate it. The first one, Byakuya was known to use this lamp.
I don't want to know what he used that for. Reading before marriage? How lewd.
So we have some options.
Ooh.
So that number we have is how much SP we've used, not how much we have left. Increase the speed of memorizing a statement. Effective during non-stop debate, just in case. Freezes more slowly during concentration and fever time. Effective during non-stop debate, hangman's gambit, and bullet time battle. I don't think we learned anything. I think it was just those 3 skills we have right now.
There's no point in not having them on right now.
Pretty much.
Cool.
I think we're all good for preparations. Let the class
Trial!
now begin. All rise.
All rise!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So,
Rampage
your
Gatling.
votes will determine the results.
Wow.
Wow!
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
What'll happen? Who knows? Who can say?
Find
then
out next
I'll
time.
punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Wow, that was a really
Okay,
cool
then.
commercial break.
So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, we have to make clear what used to deliver the fatal blow. What was used.
It was a dumbbell. Or was it?
We have one option. What could it be?
What could it be possibly?
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yeah?
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
Oh. Sorry. Oops.
Chihiro's fatal.
No, that's wrong!
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt?
I bet
my
it was
God.
an iron pipe.
There
Thanks,
it is.
Thanks, Yasuhiro.
That's wrong! It was an iron dumbbell!
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Okay, it's closed.
That's so
We figured out the murderer. It was the dumbbell.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is
Makoto, you
the
answer first.
fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
The Akio sounds
No, that's
so-
wrong.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Did he really kill Chihiro? New element is added to non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. Ah, white noise. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bolts will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. There's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the X button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of white noise, time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out.
What?
Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. In which case, forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you.
What did you set it to?
Well then, good luck and have fun. I think normal.
Yeah, I hope you didn't. Alright, time for the Genocide Jack case file.
The culprit is Genocide
Yep,
Jack.
there's white noise.
I'm sure of it.
I see.
Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
Break!
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it
I mean,
outlines all the
Byakuya's not
specifics
wrong.
of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail.
like all things considered, why it's there is not something we really need to have answered right now in this trial.
According to the file,
Better question
there
is-
appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case.
The
The
better
first
question
is that
why
a bloody message is found written at the
Gonna
scene
punt
of
you.
every murder.
What? Don't get mad at me. Get mad at Byakuya. He keeps interrupting you.
I think the better question is, why is there a courtroom in a school? That's the question you need to be asking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
I hate. Thank you, Hifumi. God.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more
If you put into
important
account-
is the other
God damn it.
characteristic. And
Jackie
it's
up!
something that has never been made public.
I mean, if we put into account the fact that they're supposed to be Japanese, makes sense why you'd get that confused.
It's
But
also,
also,
it's
damn
also
it, Hifumi.
Hifumi.
Never
Yeah.
made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Uh-huh.
She was very in a corpse party cosplay. You not gonna read your lines?
If I'm not mistaken, it has to do with positioning of the body.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
It's my inner thoughts. What? Those are not supposed to be made vocal. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you hear your own inner thoughts. If we're not able to hear his inner thoughts, then did he actually think them?
Other than the killer,
Checkmate,
the only
atheists.
people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However,
I say
Chihiro
that
was
as an
most
atheist.
definitely suspended in the same way.
Hmm.
So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of.
The lamp did this.
It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes.
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie! What?
To be fair, if I was Hifumi, I would not want to be next to Toko right now either. So fair.
That's fair.
Okay.
Fair reaction.
Wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why's this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right?
Their pronouns are they, them.
I
not
need to
because they're
think
non-binary,
about
but
this.
Because there are multiple people.
I need to think about this. Makoto,
Oh, God.
where? Makoto,
Huh.
where?
Think harder.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the Hangman's Gambit stuff has not fully
Now I understand.
aged well.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
I love how he's just like, I'm fine with this.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
I'm more surprised she didn't start doing that when Junko died earlier. Like, she was all up in that shit.
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine. What was that, Devon? Are you all dead?
You must have hit her head real hard if she's asking a dead body if it's dead.
The world has a front and a back, a top inning and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. I forget exactly how I did this one.
This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive it out. The killer! Drive out the murderous fiend!
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
The lamp has betrayed the moth.
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is
Can't just
all
out
a
people
lie.
like that, man.
Right, Toko?
Yeah, about that, Aoi.
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I don't feel like I should be here. This feels weirdly domestic.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The
person?
You
who gets the
don't
lamp and the divorce?
To be fair, I don't think they ever actually got far enough for that. Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom. But in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Hello.
Yes! What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Good question, Mondo. Good question.
That's what I want to know.
What happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie.
Cool.
Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Which one are you then? Considering Toko. This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane!
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
I mean...
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
Okay, but like not to death.
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
Okay, Noir, whatever.
Is that who...
Yep, it's Noir. It's Aaron.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive,
her voice.
so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Yeah, now that I'm hearing it again.
Remember what
Also-
Monokuma told us?
Also, she has so many more lines as Genocide Jack than she does in the average Neptunia game.
If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh? I hear it so much now.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
I wonder.
I'm sorry.
Maybe.
I'm sorry. I blanked earlier. I thought I recognized her voice from somewhere, and that's all I've been thinking about for the last 10 minutes. What are we on?
God, I'm so sweaty for some... Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me.
The voice actor. Something's still bothering me. You sound a lot like this other person I know.
When she said I need to get some more details about all this. Back to the non-stop debate!
Woo! I'm gonna keep looking at the voice actors for this game. You do that. You do that while I
Sorry,
look
but I
this
didn't
up.
kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Yeah, about
okay,
that.
so we know that Makoto is voiced by everyone's favorite Kirito.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
Also, hello, Aaron. Jaeger. Pretty sure Pappenberg also voices Aaron from Attack on Titan.
Hold on a second.
I think there's
Like,
a
listen.
slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
He also voiced Silver the Hedgehog in Sonic X Shadow Generation.
Neat!
It's
Anyway.
no use! That's wrong!
Anyways.
Oh, right, and also Cat
How's
Noir.
it any different?
And
We
Liam!
should-
Nice!
We on all things considered, I'm gonna say this now. We should probably not look at who voiced like the full cast list of the Danganronpa games, just because hey,
Just the first game. But also, yeah, Eren Yeager.
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Jeez.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go
want me
to
to
a
hurt you real
fancy
quick?
Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the
Later.
noodles, the sauce, everything.
No,
But what happened to Chihiro?
This'll be funny. You know who, who Monokuma's voice actor also voiced?
So,
Shigekio from JoJo's Part 4.
I do not remember who that is. And I
Oh,
also don't have
wait,
not...
seriously?
I have also not seen the English dub for Part 4. Though...
Oh, that's fair.
To be fair, I do, like, yeah.
This is now hurting me physically, mentally as well. Kyoko's actor also voices Iono in Horizons.
Fun. Anyways.
It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense.
Thank
There
you.
are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
The clear difference. The fatal injury.
I got it!
Ooh, what do I think
For
it could
one,
be? What could it
the cause
possibly
of death
be?
is different.
See,
In
look!
the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way.
Piercing damage! And if you recall right, Chihiro was murdered with bludgeoning.
According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
You don't know that? You can use a
But
dumbbell as
Chihiro
scissors.
died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you
Honestly,
please
I'm more of a
stop
fan of-
comparing killing people
Okay.
to cooking?
You need to slow down. You need to slow down.
I'm going at a decent pace. What do you want from me?
No. There's a delay between our things. I like to get a word in here and there. Come on.
So,
I
you saying
barely
the other
have any
difference has to
funny
do with
jokes
how
to
the body
make in
was
this.
arranged?
Come
All
on.
right, make jokes.
No, you've already moved past the pesto.
That's right, the second difference related to how she was suspended. All the victims were stabbed through their hands. You'll see a clear difference.
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use.
How strong are the scissors?
And you know what else?
Do you? Do you know what else I have?
I do know what else.
Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's
I
wrong.
do know what else. I just remembered. And it's a pretty big surprise.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. Patterns surrounding the Genocide Jack victims and the hero didn't fit it. You look at all the names of every victim and you'll notice is... I think they figured it out. Know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro.
Because Chihiro was her lover. Holy hell.
I got it!
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
A penis! Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gaku, 23. Kano Issei, 14. Takeshi Yoshida, 30. Komatsuna Taro. Takefumi Gono. Uchida Naoki. Takeshi Masamune. Yuto Nimejima. There was no end to it.
You struggling there?
Guys?
Yes.
I love how he always sounds like he's really high.
He's like so confused.
That's right!
He probably
the people
is.
I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
Lots of things.
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
You can say it if you want to, it's fine.
What the fuck do you mean Twitter needs her? What do you mean by that?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
No. They would... that is attack on both nationalities.
I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
He sounds so fucking confused.
I would never kill
no
for
one
a
has
reason as petty as mere survival.
He's like, no one has ever responded to me in this way before. Do you not know who I am? I'm filthy rich.
And if by some fluke I did kill to survive,
You're interrupting the esteemed monologue of Byakuya Togami.
why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Probably someone with a lot of strength.
dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
I was
no.
about to say.
But
I
wait,
was
there's...
literally, if you had waited one more second, I would have said that.
But wait, there's more.
Da-da-da-da!
And before you ask, yes, this is a
JoJo's
JoJo's reference.
She's fully equipped.
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime!
This
Why
is
would I
literally a
resort
JoJo's
to
reference.
dumbbells or
Awesome.
rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side?
Oh, that's the wrong button.
Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
You good? You good, Taka?
I have
You
no
saw what
idea
I
what's
just
going on
posted.
anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal, and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who would copy Genocide Jack cases. Who?
Yakuya. Yakuya is the only person who would have been able to know about them.
Here's my
Yakuya!
answer.
You fool!
Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus,
Which, might I
you
add, is
already
highly
looked
illegal.
through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
You believe I'm below legality? No, I'm above it.
Ah.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
You want to know the one reason
pushed
why?
the theory of Genocide Jack
Do you
being
want to
the
know what his
killer
one
so
alibi
hard
would
was-
be?
What?
It's like, fool! Why would you ever think that I would be the one to do the murder? I would never harm my lamp.
Because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I don't want to have a response. No. No,
Oh,
you
you
need
just-
to
you
say
just
that
thought-
one. You need to say that one. You put that out there in the universe. You need to vocalize it.
I don't know if I want to say that.
No, you have to.
I don't think it's within my what's the word? Damn it, I'm an author and I can't think of words. I have a list of no words I'm not allowed to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is sex one of them?
Maybe. No, not really, but I think in the joke I did, yeah, probably. Context, Heiko.
You having a problem there?
I'm dying. Physically.
Got a joke.
Physically, I mean, physically.
You got a joke. I'm not moving on till you say it. You were muted and we both know that.
I said it. You probably heard it. Let's move on.
Glad to see you think her coil position of choice is scissoring.
I
Anyways.
see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now,
Pretty much the entire fucking time.
the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious. It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should
So
have
that makes a lot
naturally
of sense
thought
why
of
you
the
wanna
boys'
go.
locker room first. Is that what you want to say?
Huh?
Oh, what? Didn't catch.
No.
You're killing me here.
Alright, well.
The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
There's a voucher!
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction with what Byakuya just said. Need to make it clear to everyone. Ah, new element. Absolutely.
I can't wait for new elements.
Truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the triangle button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change truth bullets, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't soon have the answer, or a lie, or a contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun.
And we have to choose when we want to look at previous statements and try to find a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's roll.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
Thanks, Ifumi.
The victim was Chihiro,
who was a girl.
Gotcha, bitch.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong!
I mean, it's right, but like, not in this scenario. Hold on.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Who the fuck said I was done, Byakuya?
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it?
I guess he's done.
Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like, he doesn't even care. I got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Differences between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden there? What could it be? Make your argument.
Oh no, the desk lamp! No!
What? The
I can't
difference
believe
between
you
the
did
cases?
this. Can't believe you've done this to the...
Huh?
You want me to explain it again?
Yeah,
when I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something
Nice
very
aim.
fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Yeah, about that, buddy.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
He had a really messy breakup with that
Actually,
lamp.
I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
I see.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Hey, Makoto, you there? Makoto! Hey!
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second?
Oh?
I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said.
Scene of the crime.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene?
Gotcha, bitch.
Ow. Gotcha.
That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya. Did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved on to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey! Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
There's something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker rooms. Gotcha.
I got it!
The posters.
The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
It's the rug, though. The rug is also proof.
We're not done yet.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
So ignoring Jill.
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms.
Ah, there it is.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved.
There we go.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
What?
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room.
Intriguing.
She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
Well,
no, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
Oh?
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Could Chihiro have really gone into the boys' locker room somehow?
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
I think you missed
No,
it.
I don't think that's it.
No.
She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
There it is.
No, that's wrong. No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst. You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
And fuck. Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do. Well, hate to say it, Makoto, but that sounds like a good time to leave this episode off for today.
Wow.
Woo! Thank you all so much for watching another episode of Danganronpa. We'll see you all in the next episode. Johnny!
Ciao.
Danganronpa.